We're back with the Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and I'm starting another campaign. The 1940 Britain campaign just ended, and it's time for another. I'm going to do something a little bit different in this campaign. I'm going to do Britain again. There's a reason for that. I'm going to do 1930. There's a reason for that. I'm going to keep it on normal difficulty. It's going to be kind of an unusual fleet composition and a little bit of a novelty. And so, and also, it's just kind of a couple of ideas I've had. And I don't necessarily want this campaign to drag on for 20 plus episodes. It's just a little bit of a fun thing. I am going to go random for the AI opponent. I don't want the German historical behavior. And I'm going to create own fleet. It's thinking, it's thinking. What do the Germans have? 4 battleships, 2 battlecruisers, 7 heavies, 9 lights, and 11 destroyers. Okay. Seems fairly standard. Okay. So what I'm going to do in this campaign, I talked a little bit about this right toward the end of the previous campaign when I was wondering what to do next. I am going to build nothing but light cruisers with maximum range. Zip. I want to see what this does for transport sinkings and power projection for blockade. Obviously, each individual light cruiser is not going to be anything close to battleship, battlecruiser, tonnage-wise, or probably power projection-wise. But in numbers, with maximum range, I just want to see. I'm curious to see what happens. It might be just a flaming failure. We'll find out together. I want to build tons and tons of these as far as ship count. So I don't want them overly expensive if I can avoid it. But at the same time, this thing has got to be able to, most light cruiser designs will be fine against destroyers and other light cruisers, but I need for this thing to be able to hold its own at least and hopefully do well against what the AI is likely to have as a heavy cruiser as well. So I can't totally skimp out on it. And then also, because I do intend to have lots of these, I'm probably going to go cramped. But I will try to save some money where I can. I know she's going to need maneuverability. Go balanced for the boilers. Go geared turbines, but not geared turbines 2. Probably aux 2, shaft 2, middle of the road. I always like the unbalanced rudder. I'm always leery of the electric options, even though they've got such good turning rate and rudder shift, because of the damage control nerfs and the flash fire chance. I think electro-hydraulic 1, I hadn't actually noticed this before, but electro-hydraulic 1 actually has got a little bit better turning rate than electro-hydraulic 2. The trade-off being that electro-hydraulic 2 has got the better rudder shift. So this rudder is a little slower, but once at full rudder, it does turn a little tighter. I'll go with that. I'm going to go ahead and spend the money on Krupp 4 for weight, as well as for weight savings, as well as armor. Double hull, reinforced 1. We'll see if we can squeeze in anti-flood 2. Let's go Citadel 3. I expect this thing is going to have to, at least occasionally, actually probably pretty frequently, go toe-to-toe with heavy cruisers. So I'm going to try to make her as beefy as I can. I may have to shave some of this off, but at least for a light cruiser, I want her to be on the more robust end, which is why, you know, another reason for the Krupp 4, the double bottom, reinforced bulkheads, anti-flood, and a Citadel. I don't normally build light cruisers nearly this armored. Okay, so this is kind of entering argument for the hull. Some of this may need to be shaved back. Potentially even speed to some degree, although I wouldn't want to go much. You know, I could go maybe 33, 34-ish. I don't want to go below 33. If I can avoid it. Okay. That's already too far forward. Even with nothing else, we're at 7.2. And the funnel is almost certainly going to go here. I don't know, will the funnel go here? The biggest one won't, but I think one of the smaller ones will. Yeah, but that's 52%. I don't want two funnels. So already 35 knots is starting to look iffy. What about 34? Oops. think I can live with 82.5%. I know I've gotten... I feel like I'm missing something. There's something affecting engine efficiency. Because I'm pretty sure I've gotten faster light cruisers than this on this, you know, hull and era. Balanced spoilers. First draft. Yeah, I don't like that smoke. Turbines? No? It doesn't affect engine efficiency, apparently. It seems like your choice of engine would have something to do with engine efficiency, but apparently not. Well, if it doesn't affect engine efficiency, what happens if I go... And we'll go geared turbines. Shift things back a little bit. I don't want to go back too much further. This is the main belt here. It's shown on the hull. Not every single hull will show this, but it's pretty clear here. So right here, this is where main belt ends and aft belt and deck begin. I do not want the aftermost turret back here. Because even with barbette protection, you know, this isn't where the magazine and the ammo handling, with some ammo handling, but there's magazine and powder rooms way down below here. And I don't think I don't know for sure how the game mechanics work, but it would stand to reason that barbette protection chosen here affects the barbette. I don't know that it affects magazine, powder storage, and the elevator system below the barbette into the hull of the ship. I would suspect that all else being equal for attributes and barbette protection, I would, you know, even if those are all equal, having a turret here or having a turret there, I would think makes a huge difference in flash fire chance or flash fire vulnerability. But I think I'll be able to creep this back just a little bit more. Maybe about that. Well, that's good. Okay, yeah, that's giving us aft now. Obviously, all this is going to have to be balanced again. I'm just trying to at least start myself off kind of in the ballpark. Well, it doesn't take much to change it, does it? Oh. Well. Okay, screw it. That's close enough. Right. Don't need barbettes, they're built into the deck houses. And so here is one reason why I wanted to do 1930. It's because I don't use triple turrets a lot, but I like this idea of triple turret 6-inch guns on light cruisers. It's just a design I like. Of course, the triples are available in 1920, and I considered that as well. But the let's get it back a little bit further from the edge of the main belt. But 1920 triple turrets carry a fairly significant accuracy nerf. Now, there's still a little bit of an accuracy penalty in 1930 as well, but it's not nearly as large. And it's not really shown here in the ship designer so much. In battle, where you have that big list of accuracy modifiers on the left-hand side of the screen, it shows it very clearly. You know, minus 20% triple turret technology in 1920. In 1930, it's minus 5%. Doesn't specifically say that anywhere in here. Although, if you look close and compare the two, you can see right here. Look at 5,000 meters. 5.2% for the double. 4.9% for the triple. And in other respects, it's the same gun, right? Mark IV, 6-inch. But it's a fairly small difference. If we were in 1920, those accuracy differences between the two, the double and the triple, would be significantly greater. Okay. So that's one reason for 1930. I will mention the other when we get to it. It's just a choice between 2 and 3-inch. I'm going to go with the 3-inch. And I want a fair number of these. One thing that I do expect these ships to be doing a lot of, because the battle generator likes to do this with light cruisers, any cruisers really, and destroyers, is convoy battles. So I want a fair number of, in these 3-inch guns will be really good for that, and also pretty good against destroyers, if needed. Let's put a pair there. And I left this area open here because I'm going to want a pretty hefty torpedo launcher. What does that do to me? 8 point. I think things are going to have to move forward again. Yeah. Scooch this up a little bit. I think I'll be able to correct this. Now we're forward again, but quad torpedo launchers are heavy. I don't think I'm going to have to move it much to get her back where she needs to be. Yep, just a hair too far aft. What happens if I just move this a little bit closer to the... Well, this is... Yeah, I know that's off center, but I got more stuff I need to do before. Okay. So the idea here with these triples is to pour out volume of fire quickly. So I'm going to go auto. These triple turrets are going to, and on auto, are going to burn through a lot of shells fast. I'm going to go increased. Gonna go let's see what the weight and cost difference is between heavy and super heavy. Not much. Super heavy. I'm gonna go for the less volatile propellant and minus 12.5 flash, minus 25. I think I'm going to go TNT2 for the greater ammo det and flash fire modifier. I do want some punch to these torpedoes. And this is kind of a trade-off here. Electric torpedoes, less range, less speed, much lower detection range for the enemy, and they're more accurate. Under the assumption, one hopes, that the AI's torpedo avoidance, you know, I've talked about it multiple times before in earlier campaigns in these recordings. You know, the AI's, you know, every AI ship knows where the torpedoes are the instant they're spotted. You know, they don't have a camera view. They're not going to not notice them. It's just inherent in the nature of AI. If the assumption, though, is that that avoidance begins when they actually spot them, and they're not actually cheating by knowing when you launch, then I think electric is pretty attractive. I'm gonna try that. I don't know if I've used electric that much before. See how it goes. Okay, I think with 6-inch guns, coincidence is probably the better way to go, vice stereoscopic. I certainly want as much of my own torpedo detection range as I can get. Yeah, well, we do have radar. I said earlier I was going to try to make these things somewhat affordable. I feel like I'm gold plating the hell out of the thing. I don't think I need RDF because I am going to have radar. I'm going to settle for Gen 1 radar though. But I think as long as you have radar, you get that same directional indicator for unspotted ships that you would with RDF. So I'm not going to go RDF. I am going to take the advanced, because no doubt there will be a lot of battles where there's two or more of these. They're not all going to be 1v1 duels, and by definition, every time one of these is going to be the flagship of the division. Okay, and we are at 28 million. I got to find some weight somewhere, and I'm not quite done with. Where's the flow? Okay. Now, even without Barbette, we're at, if I can get it to, we're at 1% flash fire chance. So let me see how little Barbette can I get away with in order to achieve 0. Okay, looks like Barbette 2 is a winner. All right. I gotta find about almost 400 tons. Can I dial back to 21-inch torpedoes? Man, that's a big change in the torpedo damage. 330% versus 440. And how much of a difference does it make? Not a whole lot. I'll come back to that. See if we can find something somewhere else. What if we dropped to anti-flood 1? That was about 60 tons. I don't want to drop this. I don't want to drop that. I don't want to drop anything, right? What if I just go down to 33 even? That helps some. Got us almost halfway there. Really don't want... With a more normal fleet composition where this is just, I could go with 3/4, but going this max range is kind of part of the idea of this campaign. I don't know where else I'm going to do it though. What about plain turbines? That's actually heavier, apparently. Okay, that's not the answer. About Ox 1. It's about a 50-ton difference. I don't want to give up shaft 2, acceleration and turn rate. I could accept the 1% flash fire chance, I guess. Yeah, that bought like 14 tons. About heavy shells. That dropped about 13 tons. What if I go semi-auto? 60 tons there. Do any of these offer weight savings? No, of course not. And it's got to be faster than hydraulic though. At least advanced. And the weight goes back up, of course. This doesn't affect weight. Is TNT3 lighter? It is not. Okay. All right. 21 inch. Dump radio entirely. There is still some comms range, even with no radio. Seems dumb to have a 1930 ship with no radio, but whoa, God, why does radio weigh so much? Not the first time I've seen it. It surprises me anew every time I see it. They need to do something with the radio weight modifiers. They really do. It's enormous. I mean, okay, so advanced radio, 1027. It's over 300 tons of radio gear. Really? Okay. It just pisses me off all over again, like I'm seeing it for the first time every time I notice that. I can probably buy the Sonar 2 back. Oh yeah. Got all kinds of weight now. Let's get the auto back. Yeah, baby. How about the 22 inch? Oh yeah. Yeah. And there was, what else can I get the Aux 2 back? Yes, sir. Can I get super heavy? Yes, I can. Oh, it's just funny. 17 tons. Okay, now that I've got that all kind of sorted, now I can finish the. Let's get these torpedo tubes kind of symmetrical again. Oh, and there it is. Balanced. The pitch and roll are not great. We're a little bit over 30 combined. I wonder if I can scrunch these turrets together just a little bit. To kind of tweak down the pitch just a hair. Maybe just a little bit. Roll is still fairly heavy. That's just going to come with the territory with quad launchers, and I've got them set inboard about as much as I can. Can that thing shift a little bit more inboard? No, I don't think so. It's not great, but it's okay. With these long deck houses, these are the best ones because of all the buffs. You get some comm range just from the towers. It's not just the accuracy, but it's also the game is modeled such that your towers affect damage control. I don't quite get that, but it is. Smoke interference, spotting, torpedo spotting. But even the lower end versions, they're still awfully long on this particular hull. So getting a really compact fore and aft arrangement with a low pitch isn't really in the cards for this hull in this era. Some other hulls have some pretty nice small towers where you can do that and have like a 12 or 13 pitch. But even with these torpedo launchers, I feel like I should be able to get a little bit better roll than that. I mean, I guess I could go single triples, rather single 3-inch. What's the weight difference? I've got, these are 10-ton. Singles are 8.3. I could leave some of these as doubles, and then, but if I switch these and these, that basically buys about 8 tons. Is that really going to make a big difference to roll? I mean, I might drop it to maybe 11.5, 11.7, something like that. Nope. I'm going to live with this. I'll just tack on a little bit more armor until we hit 9,900. Or almost 9,900. Let's see, I can't add any more. I think that's just about going to do it. Oh, I messed up. I plussed up all this armor, but I forgot to do the turret armor. Gotta have it. Sorry. I want it to be about as heavy as it could be for a light cruiser. Well, maybe not the top. And shave this off a little bit for the 3-inchers. No, keep that. I'm going back down to aux 1. Okay. Taking a little bit longer than I'd expected, but yeah, back down to 21 inch. Okay. It's 1 ton. I'm not going to sweat it. This is our light cruiser. Now, I said earlier that I was going to do all light cruisers for this campaign. There is one exception. A tiny, so it's not a lie, but I'm going to have one other ship just because I got this idea after an exchange with one of the viewers. And this is just kind of a lark. It's not really part of a design composition or anything. I just want to build a particular battleship. And I'll only have the one. Not just one class, one battleship. And the reason I chose 1930, one reason was the 666-inch turrets, like I talked about. The other is I wanted this hull because it's closest, I think, to what I want to build. And that is a Rodney was one of them, but the Nelson class, which is goofy looking with all the turrets up forward and a superstructure way back here. It's like we were talking about it. I looked at a picture of it again. I'm like, you know what? I want to build one of those just for the fun of it. So I'm actually going to call it Nelson. But I'm not really going to like completely try to recreate the ship. Right, yeah. The ship designer doesn't really do that very closely. I'm just going to vaguely approximate it. So we're looking at, I think the actual Rodney was like 37,000 and change. I'm just going to go 40. It was awfully slow, even for its time, at 23 knots. I'm not particularly concerned about the range. I'm not going to just automatically put it to 0, but this is something I might change. Like max bulkheads if I can get it. It's going to run on oil. I'm not for 23 knots. I might be able to get away with natural boilers. Go geared turbines. I think I read that Rodney had, I keep saying Rodney, the Nelsons had 14-inch armor, main belt. I don't know what to do for this. I don't know what you had. We'll just do this for now. I don't think I need this much deck armor. We're doing 1930 AI German battleships, so probably, I mean, they could be higher or lower. but on average they're probably going to be like maybe 14 inch, 14 or 15 as an average. If we design it up to defending 15-inch guns, plunge through 10.2 effective, which means at 110% armor quality. Now, that does kind of call for a 5-inch main deck. Huh. Well, we'll see. Okay, let's just see if we can do that. Just the fact that it's so stupid slow will probably buy a lot of weight and cost. Okay, main tower. How big is the biggest one? Okay. How about there? And for secondary, not much space, but there's not going to be a main turret back here. What's the biggest one look? Nope, that's obviously not going to work. How about advanced? How about this compact? I think I'm going to do that. Well, I'm not sure where a funnel fits in here. She doesn't need much of a funnel, I don't think. For 23 knots. It's here in the middle. What? Okay, that gets me 100%. How about this one? How about the smallest one? Hey, the smallest one gets me 98.8 sold. And it fits right there. Okay. So the Nelsons had triple 16-inch. Ooh, they're Mark IIs. Yeah, well, but I'm going to go with it because that's. I'm not trying to exactly reproduce, but I want it reasonably close. Put one here. One out here. I'll move them back in a second. And let's see, probably a that looks too small. Enlarge. Okay, that looks about right. That field of fire is so terrible. I can scoot her back, but it just starts making the firing arc that much worse. Can't really move this back. I can't really set this right up against the deck house. Well, this one, this middle turret has got a really good, obviously, maybe I can afford. Scooch it back a little bit. Whatever it loses to the aft, it gets a little bit better forward, right? Doesn't look like it, actually. Fair amount of forward weight, but I haven't put secondaries on yet. Okay. So, obvious drawback to this design is main guns can't fire aft. This one's got a pretty good angle, but even it can't fire directly aft. And we know from seeing this game that from time to time you get these destroyer ambushes where the battleship is trying not to get slammed with torpedoes by a bunch of destroyers chasing her. So I'm going to put a lot of secondaries and kind of prioritizing their aft field of fire. Nelson had a number of twin 6-inchers for her secondary armament, so I will do the same. I do want some that can fire forward as well. And I'm already back to aft weight offset again. Obviously there's some play where I can fiddle with that. And I'm going to throw on some 5-inch as well. Okay, that weight offset's starting to get pretty serious. I don't want to put anything in here because, obviously, because of this turret. Even sneaking one, tucking one up by this barbette, that's, no. This has all got to remain pretty clear to help out this already pretty badly placed turret. So where do I find some? I think I've got some room to scoot forward. This is actually, this is kind of showing a single belt going all the way. Well, all the way forward, not all the way aft. So I think I may be able to scoot these turrets up a bit. Still remain within the belt. Almost there. Okay. Pitch is not very good at all, but roll is not bad. So okay. However, I haven't done any of this crap yet. Stereoscopic. Here we go with the radio weight again. Let's see how much aft weight it puts on it. $1,500 tons between no radio and RDF radio. That's ridiculous. Let's drop to advanced. No. I don't want to be standard. I don't need auto. Are these all center? Yeah, they're okay. Just go enhanced. Like super heavy if I can get it. I've almost run. Well, this will put me over by quite a bit. Tube powder. Go with TNT2 for the same reason I did on the cruiser. It's actually got better flash fire prevention. 4% flash fire chance. How much barbette do I need to get to... Well, what do I get a barbette for? Down to 1. Where do I find 2,000 tons? Range, maybe. It's a pretty good chunk. Or I'm just kind of roughly approximating a Nelson, not trying to replicate it per se. What happens if I just go up to 42,000 tons? Well, it makes everything else way more too, so it doesn't really buy much. I gotta find 315 tons now. Oh, I'm still on natural boilers. Are any of these weight saving? Nope. 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 Don't want to lose this. Dare I go to Citadel 3? I don't think so. No, I want the radar. I want the stereoscopic. About 13.5 main belt. It didn't really buy that much, did it? Okay. And how about, let's see how much we can shave by fiddling with the fore and aft armor for weight offset. Just about there. There we go. Turret armor looks good. Secondaries are maxed for what they can be. Well, we'll see how she we'll see how she does against whatever German battleship she comes up with. It'll be entertaining. Great. So, zero the tech, budget, max the crew training, max the transport capacity. Don't need to build any shipyards for this. And we have naval funds, 1.8 bill. Nelson cost not quite 90. Should I build the two for Nelson and Rodney? I think I will. That's it though. And of course, that will go at Scapa Flow. That leaves 1. I guess I had pretty much 1.9 bill before. Almost 1.7 bill. I'd like to leave, probably 50 million. And these things cost goodness, I'm going to be able to build a ridiculous number of these, which was the idea. So 10 is 265 million. I could build like 60 or 70 of these things. Buy 40. just to kind of $50. That's 1.3 billion. That's still going to leave 500 million for reserve. This is ridiculous. There we go. 60 light. I wonder if the game's cruiser name pool. I wonder if this will break that. Oh, I'm enjoying myself here. Nope, it's got them all named. I wonder if it uses any names in here. I don't see any duplicates. I am seeing some names I don't think I've ever seen before. Okay. And what did I get? I got 50, right? Is there one port that's got room for them all? Not quite. Yes. Let's take about 20 of them. Put them in Sunderland. I didn't count. That's probably somewhat close. And we'll put the rest of them at Rosyth. Yep. Make sure to check this. Okay, finance is set. Ports have been set. Start this rather unusual campaign. Oops, I'm a little over, and oh, I put 30 there. Okay, let's move some of these up to Rosyth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That ought to be enough. And let's, I guess I could have built more of them. I'm gonna do that. Let's build 12 more. And they can build down in Portsmouth. Oops. That's what I meant. Okay, I think things are set, and in the next episode we'll actually get the campaign proper going. Thanks for watching.